I
So
think
he
we've
sees
got the
that.
same
He
one.
sees we go to the crunchy doctor.
Yeah, there you go. The crunchy doctor.
Yeah, he sees
the
we go to that,
best one.
and he sees that we declined the vitamin K shot.
And he's like, "Oh, red flags."
Yeah, and he starts hammering my wife with these questions. Why no vitamin K shot? Explain that to me. Saying, explain that to me. To my wife, saying, explain not the vitamin K shot to me.
Because she's
And my
has
wife-
to explain
yeah.
why she's declining something.
Yeah. And
You've got to justify it to me.
to me, because I'm a doctor and I have science.
Welcome to Work Hard. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Jason.
Now this is podcasting.
Yeah! Welcome to Work Hard, baby.
Back
Guys,
for another week. Sorry about the
another
break,
week.
y'all.
Sorry about the break. Big news. Brah! I had a baby. What up? Not me. My wife had one. I am fat though. I know you could think I could fool you. I might be pregnant, but I'm just regular fat. Slowly changing though. All right. I know you guys see me and you go, people do comment about my weight.
I saw that. It was very rude.
Yeah, very rude, dude. Guys, chill out.
Come on.
That's low-hanging fruit. You guys wouldn't believe how fat I was even like when we met, dude. I was mad fat. I mean, I'm mad fat now, but I was like bad fat. And I'm still going down, dude. I'm going to look better than all of you in like a year. You're going to be writing me in the comments, coming back around, apologizing. So, dude, I'm sorry. We didn't know you had it like that, dude. We didn't know you had that kind of willpower. And I'm stronger than you. So take that. What about that? Guys, welcome to Work Hard. My name is Ethan. With me, Jason.
Hello, everyone.
Hope you guys had a good week, or 2 weeks rather. We're back at it. I had a child, a wee girl. She's beautiful. Her name is Marigold.
A wee lass.
Named
Named Marigold.
Marigold, or Goldie for short.
Goldie.
Goldie, good old Goldie.
A fair lass with golden hair.
A fair lass with golden hair. Well, her hair's brown right now,
Okay.
but I'll take solace in that.
If it's anything like our children, it'll change like 15 times before they're 3.
Yeah. I remember when your youngest came around, and she had pretty dark hair. Now she's like straight platinum blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tan as all get out because
Yeah.
she spends all her time running around in a diaper, getting tanned and sun-bleached hair.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah, it is.
She cracks me up.
She was funny. We attended church for the first time in 2 weeks, and Jason's family was sitting in the back row, and we walked in with our baby, and Jason's youngest saw her and just very loudly started going, baby.
Yeah. Shh.
Over and over and over.
Quiet.
Yeah, like a kid with
Yes,
Tourette's.
I see him. Yep.
Baby.
Yeah, I know.
Baby.
Did you say my baby had Tourette's?
Yeah. I know. I said she was acting like a
Like
baby. With
Oh,
Tourette's.
okay. That's all right.
Yeah, that's much better. My daughter, I took her to the movie theater for the first time, my oldest, which feels crazy to say. But I took my oldest to the movie theater for the first time, and we went to see the live action Lilo and Stitch, which in some ways
They did that, huh?
yeah, in some ways it's better than the old one.
Okay.
In other ways it's not. But they cut out all the making fun of white people that was in the first one.
Did they make fun of white people?
They had that big. There was like some subtle, like the tourists, all the white people in the movie.
all the fat white
were like
tourists?
fat white tourists that were like, "Oh, I've got ice cream. It fell on the ground. Where am I going? How's it happening? Look at my tan lines." So it was like that, and they cut all that out. But they did
I
have.
didn't take offense to that.
I didn't either.
Okay.
They could have left it in. It was like that subtle. That's fine. It's funny.
Just weird. Okay. Yeah, it's
I'm sure
the
that's
tourists.
exactly how Native Hawaiian people feel. Seeing
About-
sunburnt white people shambling around their
Eating
islands.
ice cream.
Yeah, that's totally fine. We're not going to acknowledge that that's true and funny. That's fine. You want to
Yeah.
make fun of white
You
people
can
like
make
that.
fun of white people.
That's okay. But I do appreciate Disney bowing to the will of the people and being like, we're not poking the bear at all now. But I didn't like the girl that they got for the older sister. I feel like she was not. It kind
Really?
of took me out. She was not a very great actor,
Oh, that's
and
too
she was
bad.
like, she just looked like a tan white girl with thick hair. Like she didn't look
Okay. Didn't actually have the features.
whatever
to-
that ethnic group is that's in Hawaii, whatever their technical term is. I don't know what it is, but
Okay.
she didn't look Hawaiian. She just looked like a white girl with. So I don't know. It kind of took
Okay.
me out of it, but and she wasn't that pretty. Like she's like there's like shots where it like hits her at the right angle. She looks very pretty, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, and the end.
Well,
Not
that's
great.
all right. You don't have to look good in every shot.
Yeah. I know that.
A bit of realism in Hollywood.
Yeah. The ending was not as good as the original. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But anyways, I took her to the movie theater, right? And there's this part where Lilo picks her nose, and my daughter stood up on her chair. Not on her chair. She stood up all the way, turned to me, and at full volume in the movie theater went, Lilo picks her nose just like I pick my nose. And the whole theater fell out. Everybody started laughing. There's like 24 people in there.
Oh, my goodness.
Everybody was laughing so hard. And
That's
she was
awesome.
so proud of herself that everyone was laughing. And now she'll,
She
anytime.
is your child.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah, now she tells that story. Like if I go, Abigail, tell people about didn't you just go to the movie theater? You're going to go there? And she goes, I went to the movie theater and I said, and Lilo picked her nose and I said, I picked my nose, and the whole theater laughed. Everybody laughed. She thinks it's the best.
Born performer.
Yeah. And so that's what's going on in my world.
Nice.
Yeah, 2-year-olds just say stuff out of pocket, dude. That's what they do. They go, baby. They go, I picked my nose.
Yeah. No shame.
Yeah, no shame at all. This morning, she told my mom that she's old. They were on the trampoline together, and
no.
Abigail went, "You're old." And my mom was like, "What?
Come on now.
Why? Because I have wrinkles?" And Abigail went, "Yeah,
Like a lot.
yeah. You're covered in wrinkles. You're all wrinkly." Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Thanks. Great.
Thank you very much for that boost of confidence.
Yes, appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I think it happened to 2 successive generations, the same thing in
Yeah.
my family, like an uncle and a cousin, when they were like in a public restroom and there was a loud bathroom noise and the young boy went like, "Who's that?" Or like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
Really loudly.
Yeah. That's
I think
awesome.
when they grew up, their child also did pretty much the exact same thing to them.
Excellent.
So it comes around.
Yeah, yeah. To the 7th generation, dude.
Yeah, to the Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, dude. You
Let's
wanna do
get right into couch cushions.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right. If you're new to it, this is the segment called Between the Couch Cushions, where we recommend old forms of media. Not old forms of media, but old media of different forms.
Yes.
Books, TV shows, movies, and music. Ethan, what's your recommendation for this week?
Mine is Annie. All right. Mine is, there's some caveats to this one. We have shown Annie to my almost 3-year-old daughter, and she looks like Annie.
Yeah.
She's way cuter than that girl was, but she has the same hair color, and she's about the same size. And so my daughter is like, I'm Annie.
I am Annie.
And my daughter's middle name is Anne. So she's like, I'm literally Annie. And Annie
In
is
the
very,
flesh.
Annie's very tough. You know, she's an orphan. She's left on her own, so she has to stand up for herself. She's very tough.
Yeah.
And so Abigail has been rude in the past week because she's being Annie, and she cannot distinguish between being tough
It is a problem and being
rude. Yeah. And so I just told her, listen, you're
On
not
the
allowed
surface,
to.
they may look similar sometimes.
Yeah, they do look very similar sometimes. And so she came in with her arms on her hips like this.
Yeah.
And she's frowning at me, and she looked at me and went, I don't care about you at all. And I was like, hey, all right.
First of all, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Second of all, you don't say that.
Yeah, I'd like turn around because I'm like smiling and laughing. I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, that was the
just
cutest
give me
thing
a
I've
minute.
ever seen. All right, hold on.
It's
Okay,
so difficult.
listen, you can't say that. Yeah. And so I just like,
She's like, Wyatt seemed to have gotten the reaction I wanted.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm cute?
yeah. So I sat down, took a knee. I was like, hey, listen, there's a difference between rude and tough. You can't be rude. You can be tough, but I was like, listen, you're too young. Okay, you're gonna have to wait to get old enough to be able to distinguish between tough and rude.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so just when you play Annie, you have to be sweet. Still, you have to still be sweet. Okay. And she was like, oh, okay. And that's fixed it. This resolved the problem. But so I don't know for your young girls, for 3-year-old girls, I don't know if Annie's the movie, but for like 5, 6-year-olds, girls who can distinguish, they're old enough to make that distinguishment.
Yeah.
That's probably fine.
Use your own judgment.
And there's also a scene in there where Annie beats up 3 little boys.
Oh, all right.
You
Feminism.
can either skip that or pause it and say, listen, daughter, please do not try to beat up 3 little boys. You will get laid out. Don't try to do that.
This is the movies.
Yeah. This is a fake thing. Girls can't do that. Please do not try to fight a boy.
Unless you're like Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
With a bunch of soy boys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is also, the validity of training girls to fight like that.
Right.
It's probably fine to train girls to fight like that in and of itself.
Defensively, yeah.
You have to fight a lot of men in order to get that good. So, because
Yeah.
there's not enough women to train with. So, if you go to a big gym where there's girls you can roll with and girls you can train with, then fine. But otherwise, you're going
to be rolling with a bunch of guys.
Yeah, you're going to be literally
And the appropriateness of doing jujitsu rolls for the
men is not great.
Debatable.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah, at best. Yeah.
Cool. So Annie. The 1987 version.
1987. Yeah, it's great.
If there were multiple.
Daddy Warbucks is the guy in that, the main male character, the male lead.
Okay.
And he has an Indian chauffeur who's always going like no, and they're playing like Indian music with him all the time. It's very funny. And they have his bodyguard is an Asian guy who does karate, and they're like ding 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 every time he comes on screen.
No
and he's
kidding,
like always
really?
doing like kicks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like just they're like his name's like Ming, like something like that. And
Yeah.
they're like, Ming, go do this. And like in order to leave, he
like flips.
somersault, like do something crazy to go off. And then at one point,
Like
somebody,
this guy has mad energy.
yeah,
He travels everywhere by flipping.
yeah,
He can't walk. He cartwheels.
yeah,
Air punching the whole way.
yeah. He's
Gotta be ready.
Iron Fist, yeah. Somebody tries to assassinate Daddy Warbucks, Mr. Warbucks, in the movie.
What?
And
There's an assassination attempt.
There's an assassination
in the Annie
attempt.
movie.
Yeah, and it's a Bolshevik. It's a communist, and it is
What?
a Jewish guy. Like they have a Hasidic Jew
No.
front flip into his office, like through a pane of glass, and then throw like a Looney Tunes bomb
No.
with like a rope hanging out, like
Yeah.
Looney Tunes bomb. He like comes in, like throws it, and and the Asian guy like roundhouses it out the door.
Right.
And then like goes after the Jewish guy. But it's just there's a lot of like old school, very funny racial stereotypes in the movie.
Yeah. Be forewarned if you're sensitive to that.
Yeah, be forewarned if you're sensitive to that, but you shouldn't be.
It is a movie of the 80s.
Yeah, if you want to be friendly with people of not your ethnic background, the number one way to do that is to be comfortable with joking about all of your stereotypes.
Poking fun at them, letting
they
them poke fun at you.
Yeah.
It's a guy thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Ease up.
Yeah. Ease up. Yeah. So
it doesn't have to be. It's not hateful in every circumstance.
Yeah. And so it's just funny. It's a good movie. There are a couple things in there you'll probably have to pause and go, all right, this is not the worldview that we hold. People can be wrong, whatever. But it also provides you a good opportunity to explain those things to your kids.
Yeah, some of those some things in movies like that are, I think, really good opportunities to open up discussions.
Yeah.
Like with the Miyazaki movies, there are, there's like ancestor worship type things,
Right.
and idols and shrines and whatnot that they kind of bow to or talk to statues sometimes.
Yeah.
And so we've talked with our kids about, so what are they doing there? And
Right.
see what they think it is and discuss it a little bit.
Yeah. One of the first conversations that Abigail and I got to have about other people's religions was through My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah.
And they're worshiping the forest and the spirits of the forest, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And having to explain, they're from a different part of the world, different religion.
Yeah,
They're wrong.
that doesn't jive with Christianity.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
it's a good movie.
It is good to expose them. I think we think
Yeah.
good to expose them to that in a manner in which you can direct the conversation and explain things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, my recommendation is the book Kon-Tiki.
Okay.
You ever heard of Kon-Tiki?
No.
Kon-Tiki, I believe, is the name of a either South American or Polynesian, or both, as the case may be, like ancestor god, hero god.
Okay.
This book is written by a Norwegian guy named Thor Heyerdahl,
Excellent.
which is an amazing name.
Excellent.
And he does something pretty much as cool as his name, which was to traverse the Pacific Ocean by balsa wood raft using Stone Age techniques and technology
Holy smokes.
to prove that it was possible that the people of Polynesia are actually migrated across the ocean from South America, because he
Wow.
recognized a tie between the Easter Island statues and South American temples and stonework and the stuff they would find on the Polynesian islands where he was studying biology.
Whoa.
And so this was I think this is in the mid-1900s, because he was getting interested in this, and then World War II broke out, and so
Yeah.
it sounds like he fought in World War II, or at least served, and then after that, he kind of picked up his research, and so he and 5 other guys got on this balsa wood raft and took off to prove, because nobody believed his theory,
Right.
that these people of Polynesia, because they didn't look like, there was like a couple of different migrations, basically, and all these people had this verbal ancestry that they had memorized. All the chiefs back in a long line,
Yeah.
and all of them like tracked back across all the islands, even though they spoke different dialects, they had a very similar timeline to where that ended. And their stories aligned with mythology and the story of the gods that the South American people like had along modern day Peru, I think.
Wow.
Anyway, so I read this book a long time ago, and I just pulled it off the shelf last night to put my kids to bed. I read this to make them fall asleep,
Yeah.
which it worked. But it's a good book, and it always stood out in my memory ever since I read it as being just a really cool story.
Yeah. Sick.
So yeah, Kon-Tiki by Thor Heyerdahl, if you want a real-life, like, scientific exploration, discovery, adventure story.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him telling about why he had this theory and then actually going through with the voyage and what happens on that.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. I've been, Abigail and I are halfway through already. We're halfway through Ghostopolis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's all she's wanted to do.
Dude, that one was great.
It's great. Fantastic. Jeff.
I thought Iron West was going to be really cool, but I liked Ghostopolis way better. These are graphic novels by
Doug TenNapel.
the fantastic Doug TenNapel.
Yeah. Jason got me a couple graphic novels for my birthday, and we're already, you gave it to me, when was that? Monday?
Yeah,
Tuesday?
Monday.
Monday? Yeah, we're already halfway through the first one. It's all Abigail. Anytime there's like a moment where Abigail is like chilling, she's like, can we read that book? The color one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can read that. And then every picture she goes, what's that? What are they doing there? So I just because there's lots of
There's a lot of
frames
visuals.
where there's not any
dialogue. Yeah, you got to explain what's going on.
Yeah, there's no narration, so I have to like narrate it to her. But it's been great.
My kids pore over those at home. We have different ones.
Yeah. She
And-
just sits on the bed and just looks at them.
Yeah, they're
They're really good.
they're great. Preview them first. There are some that I wouldn't give to young kids,
Yeah, the Ghostopolis one has like spooky skeletons and stuff in it, so she's like,
as one can
she'll
imagine.
like
yeah.
bury her head sometimes, but she likes being scared, so she'll like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you stop reading this? She'll go, no,
Yeah,
is it scary? Is he a friendly dragon? You know,
some of them are maybe a little more like teen and early 20s age, I would say.
yeah. Okay, guys, we're gonna dive into it. Today, I would like to recount a story, okay, an interaction, several interactions that I had with the medical system, all right, while having our daughter. The first time I'd ever interacted, like I've never been to the hospital. Actually, that's not true. I went to the hospital once, but I've never like sat in a hospital for a long period of time for like days. I've never been around like that kind of environment, nurses and stuff. I guess that's new. So it was new for me with my first daughter.
Okay.
And one of the things that I found very shocking was that they would have these conversations. Like they would come in, the nurses would come in and be like, okay, how do you want to do this? What do you want to do here? Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And they would like not even acknowledge that I was in the room. And like just directly to Emily. And so Emily would say like they'd ask Emily a question and she'd just look right at me and be like, what are we doing? And I'd be like, all right, let's talk about this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'd look at the nurse and I'd say, what are the odds this? What's over here? What's your gut say? Whatever. And then she would just look at Emily
and talk to her
because
she's the patient.
And I would just be like, listen, it's such a divorce from how Emily and I view the world, from how I think probably you and your wife view the world, of like, you should be talking to me and then I'll talk to my wife.
It was unusual for me to be along on all the appointments for our first daughter, especially since I didn't have anywhere else, not anywhere else to be, but my wife scheduled all her midwife appointments, her prenatal appointments on days I had off so I could go along.
Right.
Yeah, I think they noted out loud that it was very unusual. They're like, oh, hey, the husband's here. You know, it was unusual.
Yeah.
And that became less and less as we had more children. Our schedule became fuller. But anyway.
Yeah.
They're not used to seeing that.
I was along for a lot of the first ones, and a lot of my mother-in-law going with her and stuff like that. But it was just weird. It's I think the thing that struck me, this is the first thing that struck me. This is kind of a minor point, but it was the minimization of my role as the father.
Yep.
To the child. Like it was like, there was no, like, what do you think? What do you, like, I had to interject.
You're just a sperm donor.
Yeah, into the situation and be like, what's going on here? You know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And oftentimes, Emily, so on our first kid, Emily wanted to do the birth, like, as naturally as possible. So she didn't want any Pitocin to induce labor.
Right.
She didn't want to do a, what is it? The spinal tap.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What is it called?
I forget
too.
Whatever the numbing agent is.
I guess that's why the nurses don't talk to us. She didn't want to do a whatever, the numbing agent to make it not hurt, the birth not hurt. And so we got there. We were at the last day before ticking over one more day would reverse the statistical likelihood that the birth would be safe. So Abigail was overdue.
Okay.
And it was the last day we could stay before the doctor was like, listen, just by the numbers, at this mark, you are now in a danger zone where it's like, whatever. And I'm not going to deliver that baby. I'm not comfortable with it. You're going to find another doctor if you want to. Because we were very adamant that she was going to, we're going to keep her cooking for as long as possible, because the most brain development for a child happens in the last like 2 or 3 weeks of their birth. So the doctor
wanted to keep his numbers safe.
Well, she's a great doctor. She's actually a really awesome doctor. We really like her, and she was very down to do whatever we wanted to do.
Yeah.
But she was just like, and she explained it to us. Like she explained it. She was like, you don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like 42 weeks.
Even with
past
the midwives,
42 weeks, it's
yes,
it's dangerous.
Yeah, they told us, I think, basically at a certain point it would have to be a hospital birth.
Right.
Like they wouldn't, I don't know if it was that their liability insurance wouldn't cover it or whatever, but that was a policy.
Right.
So I believe, if I recall correctly, when we used a birth facility, I don't think we were allowed to go past 42 weeks.
Right.
It never happened. And got close.
Yeah. She was like, listen, you're going to go. And she's a great doctor. So she wasn't just like, I'm a doctor, so you have to listen to me. She was like, here are the numbers. Here's why. Like,
good.
We see the research here. This is great. You guys are right. Like, this is going to be like good. You want to leave her in there. That's fine. At 42 weeks past, the numbers start to really very rapidly increase that there's going to be complications. And here are the numbers. It's just math. And so we were like, I was like, yeah, all right, I'm drawing the line. We're inducing. If she's not done by this day, we're inducing. And so we went there. We got Emily started labor that night, the night before we were scheduled for an induction. So when we got to the hospital at our scheduled time, Emily was already in labor.
Okay.
But it was taking forever, whatever. And we had a long conversation. It was 3 years ago, so I don't remember exactly how it happened. But eventually we arrived at the conclusion that we would just start the Pitocin at a very small dose to speed things
Bump it up.
And,
because that's what induces contractions, correct?
Right. But Pitocin-induced contractions are much more painful than natural contractions.
Well, I think my understanding of it from what the midwives, if I'm remembering my several years ago conversation, so look this up, this is not medical advice or whatever, look it up, do your own research, but it bypasses, so when a woman has natural contractions, the body also releases pain-relieving hormones and also hormones to where she doesn't remember it badly anyway.
Yeah.
You kind of have that rosy picture of, after they've given birth and they have their baby, they're like, I'm ready to do that again.
Yeah.
That kind of sensation.
Yeah.
Which Pitocin doesn't, it kind of bypasses that, and the body doesn't then kick in and go, here's also your pain relievers and things to smooth this over and make it not as bad on the back end.
Okay.
And so therefore you also get into the realm of now, well, you're on Pitocin, you also need artificial painkillers.
Right. Right.
So
yeah, so we just did the Pitocin, and then Emily didn't want to do the painkiller, and this is all the main thing she was trying to do here is avoid a C-section.
Okay.
And so she's on the Pitocin. We go hours where she's just on the Pitocin, and she's trying to tough it out, but it's like painful, super painful. She's in a lot of pain. It's really miserable, and eventually she gets so tired that in between contractions she starts passing out.
Yeah.
Like she's falling asleep. She's not passing out in a dangerous way.
Yeah.
But she's so tired that the contraction ends, and then she would just go, and just like, and so I was just like, dude.
My wife in natural labor did something similar because we were both tired being up all night or being up from the wee hours, and so we would just almost be in between contractions. She'd just like relax on me.
Yeah.
And kind of almost rest.
Yeah.
Wherever she was most comfortable.
Yeah. And so I was just like, listen, if we're trying to avoid a C-section here, this is not the route. Because you're passing out. Like, you're not going to be able to push this baby out when it comes time. You're not going to have the energy.
Well, actually, the body will. I believe women in comas have delivered before.
Oh, really?
So you don't actually need to be
conscious.
Oh,
well, I made the wrong call then. Whoops. So
look that up. I have heard that though, but I believe like the body will do everything it needs to without you being awake if necessary.
Okay, cool. Well, good to know next time. But
not that they'd probably be comfortable with her being flat out passed out. You might meet with some stiff resistance to that.
Yeah.
If she's so wiped out from it.
Yeah. And so I was just like, the nurse came in. I was like, hey, we're going to do it. We're going to do the whatever. What is it called?
You want me to look it up?
Yeah, just look it up so we can.
You go ahead and keep talking about
So I was like, hey, we're going to do it. Whatever. And the nurse like looked at my wife and was like, what do you want to do? My wife was like this. I don't know if I'm on camera. She's like this. She can't answer the question.
Yeah.
I said we're doing it. I'm her husband. We're doing it. What do you mean? What does she want? I made the decision. We're doing it. Like, and so one way or the other, Emily wakes up and is like, just do what he says. She's just like, just do what he says. Like, why are you questioning him?
Yeah.
Why are you making this harder for me? Like, this is my husband. It's not like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Have you picked up on any vibes that we hate each other here?
Yeah. Do I have any bruises? Do I appear abused? Like, what is?
Yeah.
And I think that's the thrust of what I'm gonna say here is that there's this like the statistical probability that there is any kind of abuse, that there's any kind of strange behavior going on between me and my wife is so low compared to... All right, we're back. Sorry. We looked it up. It's called epidural. Okay. It's this like... What am I trying to say here? I feel... It seems like, in my experience... Medical professionals who interact with patients directly are so often trained to spot like abuse and like this like whatever.
Yeah.
And I've been watching to relax to go to sleep. I've been watching calm like autistic doctors just teach how to do different kind of medical exams.
Yeah.
And it's very calming. So I've been watching it at night, and it's like every single one is like inspect to see if the patient is safe, is there. And it's like, you're here for there's a fungus on my toe. And it's like they come in and like the first thing they do is like inspect to see if the patient has any bruising in places that would often
be associated
with abuse.
That are consistent with.
Yeah, consistent with abuse. Yeah.
Bruises consistent with abuse.
Do they feel safe at home? Do they get regular food? Like, what, dude, I've got a fungus on my toe. Like, can we just inspect my toe?
Sure. The reason for that is that these people going to the ER might be the only time they're outside of that situation and could get potential help.
Totally
in
get
its
it.
defense, I understand.
Totally get it, but it's more of this thing that I've talked about in the past where it's like...
You also get asked about your drinking if you go to the ER. How many drinks a week do you have? Like, what the?
Yeah. What are you talking? Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah. It's this like...
None yours.
regulating planning to the margins is what I like to like refer to it as, which I talked about before on earlier episodes, where it's like the statistical probability is so low that this is actually a problem in the life of the person you're interacting with right now, that it isn't actually worth engaging with them as if that's happening.
Right. If you're treating it like that's happening.
Right. And because you're trained so thoroughly to look for that stuff, you're looking for it all the time.
Yeah.
And you're going to see see it, you're going to find it. The brain finds what it's looking for. And
an example of that is that when I was a paramedic, they did some sort of training, or there was some sort of training in the that the whole system got this training about this certain kind of rare heart disease or condition.
Yeah.
And the ERs reported that they were just getting like
overwhelmed
alerts from it all over the place.
Yeah.
And the term for that phenomenon was looking for zebras and missing all the horses.
Yeah, perfect. And listen, all right, healthcare professionals who are mad that I get it. I understand COVID. You're heroes. Okay. Now you're an elevated class. You're beyond criticism. You're beyond critique. You're perfect. I get it. I get it. You're indelible. You are, what's the word I'm looking for? This is a great podcast. We can't remember any of the words we're saying. We're all uhs and shoulders today.
Now this is podcasting.
Now this is podcasting, baby. Listen, I understand. You are one of God's chosen warriors of science. You are beyond any civilian's capacity to critique or get upset with. You're the chosen one. All right, I get it. Okay? I get it. Now,
for the record, anyone with their head screwed on straight hates the hero term after COVID.
Yeah.
It got so annoying.
Listen. You know when a patient comes in and they're like, I have this problem, and you go, how did you even get that idea in your head? And they go, I Googled it. And you get upset. All right. That's how normal people feel when they come in and you go, have you been getting punched at home? And they go, the normal person goes, how did you even get that idea in your head? And then you have to say, because some HR lady came in and told me that happened. It's the same thing. All right. The statistical probability that somebody's getting abused in their home is the same statistical probability that some obscure health side effect thing came in and they're like this, and you're going, what? You sound. So that's how you sound to us. All right. So chill out.
I know there'll be people who go, well, the statistical probability of abuse is relatively high. So I'm asking if you know what the statistical probability is, just for the sake of heading off arguments.
It's a single-digit percentage chance, something like that. It's not, and if it's...
feel free to correct us in the comments. If it's different, also, put it in the comments.
Yeah,
okay?
Here's the thing. Here's the problem with arguing statistical probabilities and stuff like that, is the term abuse can be interpreted as...
Well, that's way too
Has
broad.
Your husband ever told you no?
Yes, it's way too broad.
Right.
So you got to define terms.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Right? Now, here's what I can say. As a normal person, when you interact with people, how many people do you know have been abused? How many people do you know that have been hit? That's the statistical probability. You know 200 people. You can keep track of 200 people in your head. How many of those people do you know have suffered a real abuse. How many of those people? All right, that's the statistical probability. That's it. So it's a single-digit % chance, okay? I live in a world of like, my mom's a medical health professional. We've been all into that. My mom was a social worker when I was a little kid.
That's all she saw.
Yeah, that's all she saw, okay? I live in a world, my family is cursed to always attract abused people. I don't know anybody who's ever been physically abused, okay? Now, I'm being hyperbolic. Obviously, I've met people that have been physically abused, okay? But I'm being hyperbolic. It's a podcast. This is for entertainment, okay?
Not a medical professional.
Not a medical professional. Okay? So first of all, I come in, they're acting like there's a pretty good chance. I mean, that's the thing, is they're acting like there's a pretty good chance.
Well, the thing is, they would be illegal for them to administer without permission of the patient. Administer a medication or procedure.
But don't I have like power of attorney or whatever? Or can I? Oh, really?
I don't think so.
Well, no. Why didn't you say that up front? Now I look dumb as hell. We've been talking about this for 20
Well, you're
minutes.
talking about being part of the conversation.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So
Yeah,
being part
yeah.
of the conversation is one thing, but I think the reason
But what
why
about
they
like when a
direct
patient's
it,
incapacitated? Don't they have to refer to like the next of kin to try
I
to
imagine they would, yeah.
Yeah. So
But I mean, if your wife is in and out of consciousness, she's not quite there
Okay,
yet, right?
all right.
So I mean, they want to know before they just shove a needle up into her spine.
Yeah.
When she was adamant prior to
Yeah.
that not happening, situation has changed. She's not totally incapacitated.
okay.
So they would have to confirm, like, do you want this? And
Yeah.
she's just like, do whatever he says. They're like, cool, let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
I, as a paramedic, would have also been like, I'm going to use my medical best judgment if there's no next of kin, and it gets messy.
Yeah.
So it is something of a gray area.
Okay. So, anyways.
But the whole like instead of engaging you when your wife has clearly indicated
yeah.
that you're the one talking, I didn't stop you at that because I find that obnoxious.
Right. Right.
And they're like, okay, and then immediately turn back and start talking to your
Yeah.
wife again as if you were just like her Googling something.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so it just there's
So
this,
that's obnoxious and I think uncalled for.
there's this whole the vibe is just very like inner city, poor people, not having single moms, whatever, and it's just all treated. It's all going towards that direction. The whole vibe is like the whole attitude. Everybody's interacting with a single mother with some deadbeat dad that's whatever, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he's there, maybe he's not, maybe he's hitting her, maybe he isn't, whatever. It's just, and it's all geared towards that. It's the whole experience is aimed at a
fractured family.
at a fractured family, which is not the majority of people's experience, right? People obviously have endless amounts of trouble in their families. No family's perfect, right? But it's just not, sorry, it just isn't. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear this is whatever, some low IQ and or feminine, like, well, people do have whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like when you say a common thing now is that like people who are middling IQ or low IQ and or they're high IQ women often have a hard time dealing in generalities. So if you say something like men are taller than women,
They'll immediately bring up that some women
I
are
know,
taller than some men.
Yeah, I know my wife. All right, my wife is 6 feet tall. My wife is actually 6 feet tall. If somebody walks up to me and says men are taller than women, I don't go, my wife is 6 feet tall. I go,
Yeah, statistically you're correct.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so in a general sense, people are not getting hit with socks full of oranges or whatever.
However one does that.
Yeah, however one abuses their wife to not leave bruises or whatever it is that they do.
And also for anyone, like, we're not making light of actual spousal abuse.
No, of course not. That's
Because
a terrible thing.
There was
Bury
a
those-
failure in someone listening to this podcast in the past to understand that we were talking about it as such an absurdity
right.
that it seemed to this person like we were making light of beating your wife.
I am. Beat your wife. I'm just kidding.
Not helping me.
Dude.
Anyway,
Yeah.
don't worry. I don't think that person's going to listen anymore.
I hope not. Because it's not changing. So just turn it off. We're doing the same thing. So that happened, and then fast forward. All right, we're at the original story. Okay, the main story I want to tell is after the birth. We get to the room. Everything's fine.
The point Ethan's ultimately trying
The point
to
I'm
make.
ultimately trying to make. The story I do want to tell, the fun one, is the next day after the birth. We've all got some rest. Here's one of the big problems with being in a hospital, dude. and you'll probably have some more insight as to why they feel the need to do this, because there's obviously policy. I know they have to. I know it's like part of it, and it's whatever.
It's just like it's
But-
the legal system.
Yes, coming
Our
in.
Sue Happy Society has made things
Yes.
this way, which
Yeah.
makes
Yeah, so I know
hospitals-
this is
other
not the
places are
hospital's fault.
intolerable.
Yeah, I know it's not the hospital. I know this one's what I'm about to say is not the hospital's fault.
Yeah.
Um,
You made it this way, society.
yeah, thank you.
Stop
Yeah.
suing people.
My wife just had birth. All right, just gave birth. She
just had birth.
She just had birth. All right, I'm exhausted. The baby's exhausted. My wife is exhausted. Okay,
Uh-huh.
my wife obviously, in particular, is exhausted. Okay,
Legitimately so.
every hour, on the hour, all night for 48 hours.
Yeah.
I'm here to check your blood pressure. Oh, I'm here to do this. Oh, hi, I'm here. I got to do this. Oh, we're going to do this. Oh, hi. Would you like this? Here's the menu for the thing. What
Did you fall asleep for the first time? And
Yeah. Hi,
20
you
20
asleep? Wake up. Like, yeah, like just constant. Like, dude, like that was I was on a warpath to get us out of the hospital so that she could rest.
actually rest?
Yeah.
Recover
Yeah.
from the hospital?
Yes. It is not, a hospital is not a place for like getting better or resting. That is not what it's for.
No, have you, that reminds me of Jim Gaffigan's Why They Gave Birth at Home.
Oh,
He's
no,
like,
I don't think
"Would
I've
you-"
ever heard that one.
He's like, oh, you don't want to give birth in a gown someone died in yesterday? He's like, what about that sounds appealing?
Yeah.
They don't throw them away.
Yeah.
They get laundered.
Do they really? I just assumed they threw it all away.
No.
Really?
No,
Ugh.
dude, that's all laundered and folded by prisoners, I might add.
Oh, nice. Nothing like bed bugs and prison aids on your
On all your linens from the
all
hospital.
all your
I'm
gentle
saying if
lifelines.
obviously if it's stained badly, you're not going to get one with a giant blood stain and a
Yeah.
stab wound.
Sure, yeah.
Not that anyone would get stabbed in the gown. That doesn't make sense.
That's true. Yeah, like most of the bleeding's probably stopped. Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
the assault is stopped once you get to the hospital.
Yeah.
I would hope.
Yeah. I mean, with policing these days, they might just take the criminal with them. Just put him in the hospital, let him keep stabbed. We can't intervene.
Let him share a room.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't want to impinge on his rights.
Yeah, he's just in the hospital stabbing him like this. The guys, they're trying to actively stitch each new wound as he's continuing to stab him.
Faster, Maurice, faster.
Yeah.
He's speeding up.
Yeah. He's got 2 knives. They give him another knife.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, knife, and the nurse is like, here you go. He's like, ah!
Yeah, exactly.
What is the system we've created?
It's the one you wanted. It's the one you got.
You asked for this.
Yeah. So they're coming all the time. My wife can't rest. So I was on the warpath to get us out of there so that we could rest. And so that's annoying. But I understand that it's their job. They have to do it. Whatever. We chose to be. We knew what we were
Yeah,
getting into.
medical
on that part.
documentation.
Yeah.
Got to have
But
vital signs every 30 minutes or whatever it is.
we were in. So the next morning, I wake up. I go to the bathroom. I'm in my underwear, and the pediatrician comes in. All right, the pediatrician's going to inspect my daughter, make sure she's all good. We have to get his stamp of approval to leave. All right. Now, this is a good.
In order for insurance to pay for it.
In order for insurance to pay for it. Yeah, they're obviously not going to stop us if they leave. Good
If you
luck.
just leave.
Yeah, I will shoot my way out of this hospital.
You'll never take me alive.
So they, the pediatrician comes in, and at first they're having a normal conversation. I can hear them through the door. So I'm in the bathroom, and I just have my underwear. I got no other clothes. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to wait in here till he leaves, and then I'll come out. Try to have some decorum. So I hear them through the bathroom. At first they're having a very normal conversation. Okay. Then he asks my wife, we declined to do a vitamin K shot. All right. So a vitamin K shot is to help the child's blood clot if there's hemorrhaging for any reason. Now that originally started because they were doing circumcisions. Well, we don't need to do circumcisions anymore. We have baptism.
Well, which is why circumcisions were performed, I believe it was 8th day, because for the
the vitamin K,
first 7
yeah.
days, your baby has reduced clotting
Right.
for a God-given reason, and I can't remember all the reasons right now, but it's deliberate
Right.
and created and purposeful, and then that's why it was done after that to where the baby boy could clot off and not bleed to death from a circumcision, basically.
Right. So the percentage
But
chance.
because the circumcisions are done potentially Is it because they're done in hospital?
They're done in hospital like the day after they're born.
Because you're already there. So
you're
it's
already there. Just
convenient.
get it over with. Yeah. And so we'll just give this baby vitamin K shot so they don't hemorrhage, and so it's fine.
Right. All done.
Now, even including, actually, no, here's how I'll say this. All right. Now, I looked this up. Now, this is by the healthcare world's, by their own standards. If you remove the vitamin K shot and circumcisions, the chance that your child is going to spontaneously hemorrhage is statistically 0. Okay?
Okay.
Now, on the flip side, we have little to no research or understanding of what the long-term side effects of administering a large dose like that of vitamin K to a child are over the long term. All right? Now, in the immediate, there also seems to be near 0 side effect. It's just a net neutral. We don't know what happens in the long term. And it's a lot with this vaccine stuff. All right? We don't know. We do know that the heavy metals that are used as adjuvants in the vaccines in order to cause the body to react to the viral sample that's in the vaccine, we do know that those heavy metals cross the blood-brain barrier and deposit themselves in the brain. That is a fact. We know that for sure. Now, here's something we also know, that the brain uses electricity. All right? That's what it uses. So if you have metal in your brain, and your brain is using electricity to function, don't you think that the electrical signals that is used for could be interrupted? Nobody thinks that vaccines cause autism, okay? But the heavy metals that are used as adjuvants in these vaccines absolutely have the potential to cause some kind of problem, all right? Having somebody go, yeah, I don't really know that I want to give my child a nickel's worth of heavy metal in their blood over 79 vaccines in 2 weeks is a great idea. What if we pump the brakes on that? All right. That is what's called reasonable. All right. That's reasonable. Now, same thing applies to the vitamin K shot.
Was the nickel thing a hyperbolic, or are you saying
that's a hyperbolic? Yes. I don't know if it's a nickel.
Okay. Hyperbolic.
Yeah.
What he's saying is stacked, a whole bunch.
A whole bunch all together.
For those who get hung up on the nickel.
Yeah. So we got so we just declined the vitamin K shot because it doesn't matter. We have a daughter who's not getting circumcised because this isn't
the Middle East.
This isn't the Middle East. And also, even if we had a son, by the way, we wouldn't circumcise him. So because we're not. I won't go down that path. We'll save that for another day.
You can fill in the blank.
Yeah, you can fill in the blanks there. It rhymes with boo.
I don't get it.
So we decline the vitamin K shot, right? He sees that, all right? He sees that, and then he also sees that we go to the doctor in town that's like the doctor that's who you go to if you want a delayed or non-existent vaccine schedule.
Oh, it's like basically the naturopath.
Yeah, the naturopath, but they're an actual doctor. Like they can get prescriptions for
right. Because I think you can't be a naturopath licensed in the state of Texas. I don't know,
remember.
but you can have more naturopathic inclined doctors.
If you go to this doctor, they are just as likely to tell you to put some peppermint oil under your nose, you'll be fine, go home.
As opposed to
we need to get
you need antibiotics right now.
Right, yeah. And they'll give you antibiotics if you want. They're a great doctors.
I
so
think
he sees
got the
that.
same
He
one.
sees we go to the crunchy doctor.
Yeah, there you go. The crunchy doctor.
Yeah, he sees we go to that, and he sees that we declined the vitamin K shot,
and he's like, "Oh, red flags."
Yeah, and first of all, this guy is he's a homosexual, obviously. I can hear it in his voice. Once I see him, I see it in his demeanor. He's like an old gay guy, and he's very like, oh, well, this is when I'm like antithesis of me, basically, like the opposite. And so I can hear him through the wall, whatever, and he sees the vitamin K, he sees which doctor we go to, and he starts hammering my wife with these questions. Why no vitamin K shot? Explain that to me. Saying, explain that to me, to my wife, saying, explain not the vitamin K shot to me.
Because she's
has
wife, to explain why she's declining something.
Yeah. And
you've got to justify it to me.
To me, because I'm a doctor and I have science.
Yeah.
I have science, and you, lowly little plebeian, don't No. So,
Yeah.
and I know because I have magic science eyes and magic science logic. And you can't use Google to figure this out because research papers are impossible to read. It's not possible for you to read research papers. And by the way, I'm not research paper reading either. I'm at a conference with some dude, in a bow tie going, well, this is what we're, and that's how I got all my information anyways. I listened to a podcast too. That's how I got my information. So he starts hammering my wife, and I give it like a split second where I'm like, all right, maybe he'll chill. My wife, to her credit, is like, this is what we want to do. Just like,
It doesn't even engage.
nothing. Yeah, just gives him nothing. And he's not, and he doesn't let up. So it's like, I like 2 taps of a foot, give him a chance to like chill out. And he doesn't. And so I'm like, all right, well, this is what we're doing. So I just put my underwear on and just walk out into the room. And just in my underwear. And
Did you have a shirt on?
no. I'm in my underwear. That's it. That's all
Well,
I
I mean,
got.
I thought you meant just not pants.
Oh, no.
That's it.
That's all I got. Boxers.
And a hat, right?
And a hat. Yeah, boxers and a hat. Yeah.
I'm dressed for church.
Yeah, I'm ready to go, baby. Turn on the podcast. And so I walk out, and he's like, it's like I couldn't ask for a better arrangement because I open the door and he's right there. So there's no way for me to like get around him. So I have to just walk right up to him.
Yeah.
And so I just like stand, and I affect the like dumbest kind of like
A
awkward,
Neanderthal.
Neanderthal kind of stance that I can kind of like unthinking. It's not that this guy's trying whatever. He's just dumb, like this kind of stance, and just get close to him, like uncomfortably close while I'm in my underwear. And he's like trying to talk,
Glancing back and forth
looking
and trying to like.
yeah, and trying to talk to Emily, and he's doing this thing where he's like, there's a lot of people out there. They're not scientific. It's a bunch of BS anti-vaxxers. Start saying anti-vaxxer.
Red flag for us.
Yeah. Red flag for us. So this guy's NPR'd out to the brim, like totally fried, like retard, and like unthinking drone.
Yeah. Medical system drone.
Yeah, medical system drone. And so here's the thing, all right? We need his approval, right? I can't make him, I don't want to make him angry, because if I start arguing with him,
Right. Then he's
or
gonna,
tell him to get out, then he's going to delay signing the paperwork and work, because I've been on the warpath to get us out. So he knows we want out. So I need to get him to sign off on the thing, but I also need him to get out. Okay? Now here's the thing.
and stop inappropriately grilling your wife.
Yeah, leave my wife alone. So I gotta play a little game here. All right, I have to suspend my emotions and my pride. All right, this is why one of the reasons why men need to be the ones having conflict. All right, because you can put your feelings in a little box and put them away. I opened my box last night. I laid on my wife's lap and cried for like 7 seconds. And then I sat up and was like, all right, I'm good. Let's go. You put your pride and your ego and everything in a little box, and you go, what do I need to do here? I need to get this. I need to get 2 things done. All right. Now, how can I get him out of here without making him angry? I'll make him think it's just, this is so awkward and uncomfortable. I got a family of retards in here, and this guy is in his underwear. This fat guy's in his underwear in my face. And I'm like flexing a little bit. So I'm like, my traps are up a little bit. I'm like just trying to look as dumb as possible. and it works. He's just so uncomfortable. He's just like, okay, the baby looks good. Like stops talking. And is like, he has like 2 seconds where he like tries to keep it up. And it's like
decides it's not worth it.
Yeah. He keeps looking at me. And
You know what?
I
don't care.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta get out of here. And he's just like, and he leaves. Now he's not mad at me. If anything, he has like pity. He's like, oh, these poor retards. Like they don't know what they're doing. Whatever. But he signs the paper off and he stopped grilling my wife. Okay. And he got out of there.
He's like, man, the lack of vaccines gave these people autism.
yeah.
Is his conclusion.
You got to vax these people up. Yeah.
Make them smarter.
Yeah. And so he, so young men, all right, listen, sometimes you throw the gauntlet down. It's time to argue and get in people's face and demand and make your room in the world and stand up for yourself, right? Sometimes that's the way to go. Sometimes the way to go is to manipulate people, make them think you're dumb, make them uncomfortable, whatever. And they get awkward enough, they think you're strange, You just want them to get the sense of, I need to get away from you. I got to get out of here. And you don't want to make them feel unsafe, especially other men.
Like David feigning madness before the king
yes,
of the Philistines
exactly.
to get out of it.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Drooling on himself, and the king's like, what is he doing here?
yeah, exactly.
Why did you guys bring this guy in?
Yeah. He was normal.
I love that line. He goes, do I lack madmen in my kingdom?
Exactly.
He's like, we have a homeless epidemic here, and you brought this guy into my court.
Yeah.
My inner court. Why?
Get him out of here. I will kill all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's like that. Like it's a great way. Sam Hyde or Nick Rochford has a great thing. That's if you're ever in a bind or whatever, you're like in a customer service bind, you can't, if you want somebody to help you and the carrot is not working, being nice and chill is not working, and trying to lubricate things with being chill is not working. You don't want to get the stick out and start yelling and arguing with people or whatever.
Yeah. People
because
dig
then they dig in. The thing you do is tell a story. So you just start going, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, you don't have the part? Oh, well, I mean, they said that I was going to have it. Then my buddy was saying that you guys going to have it here. And his interesting thing is that the other day he was working on the same thing. And as he was working on it, his pool like broke and we were like trying to swim. And so we had to actually go over there and do this pool thing. And then on our way there, he noticed that there was like a thing, like a sale. And so we stopped by to get like some burgers, and they were really good. Have you ever been to McDonald's? Like, have you been to McDonald's before? It's not bad. It's like pretty good. And you just do that for 45 minutes and they'll go, okay, you can have it. Like just because you're being polite, you're not being, so you just do that to them. And I do that all the time to customer service people who are being unhelpful or like, I got the specific example Sam Hyde uses is that to debtor or people calling him for collections and stuff, he'll just like hit them with whatever. And I got a bank person to agree to suspend our credit card payments without interest for a year, and then let us pay like $7 a month afterwards by staying on the phone with them for an hour. I just talked nonsense for an hour, like nothing had anything to do with the call, whatever. And eventually the guy was like, Mr. Bell, listen, so I've just been talking. The thing we can work out with you is, and I was like, oh, great. It's like,
excellent.
Yeah, fantastic.
Send it over.
Yeah. And so I just deployed the physical version of that on this guy of just like, time to get uncomfortable. And so it allows them, their ego isn't hurt.
Is that called filibustering? To a degree.
Yeah, I guess probably, yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
It's a version of filibustering.
Yeah. So,
just holding the floor long enough to suspend a vote.
Yeah.
I got my way by way of neutralizing the Mexican standoff by blabbermouth.
Yeah, exactly. And so we got I got him out of there. That's the point. All right, I got him out of there, and I didn't go, oh, I'm a big tough guy, and I'm going to beat you up if you don't stop talking to my wife like that. Whatever. Oh,
better let us out of this hospital.
Or arguing with him.
Because he's not going to be convinced.
Who cares? By the way, if you start arguing with him, he's already winning because he has way more to gain by that conversation than you have to gain because he's not a thinker, all right? It's not about thinking for him. The likelihood that you're going to get him with facts and logic or whatever is zero. The reason why you interact with medical professionals who are so dug in, like on vaccines and abortion and all this stuff, is because by admitting that vaccines are potentially dangerous and admitting that when you abort a child, you are killing it, you have to then admit that you are a party to the death and maiming of probably personally dozens, if not 100 or more children. Like this pediatrician has been doping these kids up with vaccines for 2 decades. How many of these kids have come in that he's seen his whole life? How many kids does he know personally that were normal, hit their vaccines, came in not normal? How many kids is he personally responsible for? Have some, I mean, it sucks, but have some empathy for him. Like the amount of pain I couldn't do that. I would double down. I would break. I'd be like, vaccines are fine. I'd die being like, vaccines are fine. Those kids are healthy because of me. Autism is totally unrelated. health concerns are totally unrelated. Myocarditis is totally unrelated.
Yeah, it's been disproven.
It's been disproven. It's fine. I don't need anything. Like, that's what I would do. I don't have the mental and emotional equipment to deal with that amount of shame and guilt. I don't. So shout out to all the medical professionals who do look at the numbers and go, I can't believe.
You're like, something's going on.
Yeah.
So again,
Yeah. So
this is not a factual statement on autism and vaccines. So please don't make this episode about that.
Here's the factual statement we'll make is that we don't know.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
What
And
we
it
will say
seems-
is that there is a great deal to be lost by large entities if there is any link.
yeah, large entities.
So there would be
and
naturally a
individuals.
huge amount of resistance.
Again, individuals too, because you have
Yep.
individual doctors that if it comes out while they're living, if it comes out that they were vaccinating, they were pushing this stuff
Yeah.
super hard, and then they have to come to the conclusion
Yeah.
that they are personally responsible for the
Yeah.
destroying of a dozen innocent lives or more, innocent lives, hundreds of kids potentially, depending on how many kids these people have seen, how many vaccines they've pushed, like all this stuff, depending on it, like they are personally invested in not acknowledging any chance that that's given, right? So he's not thinking, this doctor is not thinking, he is emotionally invested in this, in the science right now. It's the thing that's contemptible is that instead of acknowledging that they have an emotional investment in this, they're acting like they're that somehow their college degree has alleviated their human condition, and they now no longer suffer from impartiality or bias. I'm a scientist. In the religions of scientism that rules today, of technocracy that rules today, I am a priest, and you can't talk to me like that. Because I'm in charge now.
Yeah.
I've got the little bedazzling thing, whatever the Pharisees used to wear, the little chest plates.
You're in a different class.
Yeah. And so this guy's not thinking. So if you start arguing with him, he's going to go nowhere, and the chance that he might actually say something to you that changes your mind is pretty high. Not pretty high, but probably low because you're a thoughtful person. He's not. So he's going to say a bunch of, like, coming in and saying.
Yes, but he can easily throw a lot of statistics that are scary at you.
Yeah.
And say this study showed this and this study, and have not looked at those studies.
Yeah, but if
you're just taking his word for it that those were good studies.
Yeah, and if you spent 30 minutes looking at those studies, you'd find that they have some sort of massive bias or whatever. The numbers are reported incorrectly, or
They were paid for by Pfizer.
Yeah, they're paid for by Pfizer or
subsidiary of them.
Yeah, and so
Anyway,
Anyways,
do your own research.
just don't
and
argue. Just don't argue. Don't argue. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is don't argue. Just nullify so that they'll leave, and you don't have to. You'll get what you want, and he gets to feel good about himself. So that happened. All right, that's annoying.
Well done, though.
Thank you.
No conflict.
No conflict. Everything in my body, by the way, all right, I have to resist because everything in my body is telling me, come out of my underwear and get in his face and go, what's the science? Tell me the science. What is the science? Because I know I'm in it a little bit. Like, I'm invested. I know. And by the way, I'm smarter than he is. I'm a faster, better thinker. I talk quicker. I'll eat him a lot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is that you protect your wife. That's the point, is that you protect your wife and your family. What does your wife and your family need? Your wife needs this guy to get out of her face, and you guys need to go home. Don't feed into your own ego by being like, I'm a big, tough man, and I can do whatever. I can say whatever, and you don't know. I know. That is so immature. Do what your people need. Take care of your people. And also, it's just good to have empathy for people, all right? Just put yourself in his shoes, okay? It's not, whatever. Do the whole thing.
Yeah, it is important. I'll say this, that from the liability standpoint, if you're refusing some sort of care that whatever medical professional you're interacting with thinks you should have and they may know that the chances are very low that this will happen, but they know that there is some chance of it, and if you were to be one of those 3% or whatever it is, and it were to come back to them, they could get in trouble or
Yeah, that
sued.
would ruin their life.
So they are highly motivated
Yeah.
to get you to do the safest thing as far as whatever the liability standard permits. So whatever their hospital has taught them to do, whatever their agency has taught them to do. When I was in the field as a paramedic, it was refusals were a big deal. you had to get a written signed refusal, and you had to be very careful to explain what they were refusing, and you had to educate them a bit.
Yeah.
So here's what we think the risk factors are to you not going to the hospital with us tonight, or the risk factors of you going via your personal vehicle as opposed to with us, whether or not we think that's safe. I would advise you to do this. I can't force you to go because you're of a clear mind. You're not confused. I can't force you to go. That's legally kidnapping.
Right.
So for me, it's like I would sometimes get in conflict because we would respond. I was with a private agency as a paramedic on an ambulance, and we would respond in conjunction with various fire departments. And some of those fire crews were really cool and chill and were on the same page, and other ones were very aggressive and you're going to go to the hospital, patient, because otherwise you could die.
Yeah.
Is a phrase I would hear. You could die.
Yeah.
They would use frightening language to basically browbeat or bully or scare people into going to the hospital, even if they knew. So it could be they were a bad medical professional, they were a bad paramedic, and they just are like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, paramedic is a 2-year degree. It's nowhere near a doctor, right? So there was plenty that we didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm fully acknowledging that. Not a doctor.
Yeah.
And that's what we would tell them. We are not doctors.
Yeah.
Like, we work under a doctor's license. And so here's the risk factors we see. We can't tell you all the things because we're not specialists, especially. Even doctors, ER doctors aren't specialists, and they'll phone a specialist about the heart or about the brain or whatever. So even doctors will go to higher level doctors to get feedback on whether or not they should take this treatment or that treatment. Anyway, but sometimes I would have to clear the fire department because they were so aggressive. I'd be like, okay, cool, thanks guys. Get the patient in the back of the ambulance. The fire department thinks we're going to the hospital. They leave. And I'm like, so do you really want to go to the hospital?
Yeah.
And they're like, not really. I'm like, okay. I explain it all to them. Do you want to go to the hospital? I'm happy to take you. I think there is some risks here. I'd be comfortable with you staying home if you want to. It's ultimately your choice because you are the one being treated.
Yeah.
I can't force you to go. Do you want to go? And they'd be like, no. And we'd sign a refusal, hop out of the ambulance, and we go on our way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fire department thinks we took them.
Yeah. And we had, listen, so my little brother has cystic fibrosis, which you guys can look that up. I'm not going to explain it, but it kills you young. And they cured it, so it's not going to kill him, but they effectively cured it. They have a very effective treatment now. And there's a cystic fibrosis clinic in Dallas. My little brother, my mom, kind of in desperation to keep my little brother healthy, went through every avenue. All right, she's highly motivated. My mom has a medical degree in treating cystic fibrosis. My mom can go toe to toe with anybody. I don't care how much of an expert you are. Like, my mom's
more of an expert.
My mom's a tremendous force of nature when it comes to that kind of stuff. And she's not a layman by any means. And so we went on, did all this hokey, herbs. My little brother goes to we have 5 years of this, whatever. My little brother goes to the clinic. He's testing like a normal kid, not a kid with cystic fibrosis.
Yeah.
The doctors pull her aside. They're like, out of the room, whatever. And they're like, listen, we're not supposed to tell you this. Like, we could get fired for saying this, but whatever you're doing
seems to be working.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
We know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't stop doing it. And they were like, and then they'd go back in the room and be like, okay, would you like to take this medicine? Wink, wink, wink. No, doctor, I can't. Oh, okay, well, it's this.
It's really, really dangerous for you not to.
Yeah,
wink, wink, wink.
Yeah, it's super bad. Yeah.
Well, good on them
Yeah.
that he had some honest doctors.
Yeah.
Who are like, the medical system is not caught up on these things.
Yeah, and you get a lot. The
drug
of those.
companies are very powerful.
Very powerful.
They,
they kill people.
My paramedic head instructor, who was an ornery biddy, but she was wisely suspicious of big drug companies.
Yeah.
There were certain drugs that were administered when somebody's in cardiac arrest, right? So when they're basically dead.
Yeah.
Their heart's not beating on their own anymore. And so you're just artificially pumping blood to keep their organs from dying while you try and get the heart restarted.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it's kind of experimental, what you give them. They're like, we don't know if lidocaine helps. We don't know if amiodarone works. But like there was a switch in protocols from like lidocaine to amiodarone first. And because amiodarone was a new drug and it paid for a giant building somewhere, my paramedic teacher's like, you guys do the math.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She goes, does amiodarone work? Shrug.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The studies we have to do field studies, which are crazy hard to gather data from a bunch of paramedics and firefighters at 3 a.m. in a cluttered trailer, in the near dark, trying to document things and follow this protocol.
Right. Yeah.
That they only do every 3 months. They're like, which drug do we put in first?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's disqualified because of this? Never mind.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
So getting that sort of data is a pain. So it's like a lot of that's really experimental because it has to be.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I think the thing that you can kind of take away from at least the medical side of this is that these people are not infallible, and none of this information is infallible. None of it is scripture. It's and these
There's
people,
a reason it's called practicing medicine.
Yeah, they're just human beings.
That's something we said all the time. It was like, that was the revelation to me being in the medical industry, was like, oh, doctors aren't just like the pinnacle of wisdom and knowledge.
Right. Yeah.
Like that was a huge revelation to me. It's like, just because someone's wearing a medical ID doesn't mean that they are, like you say, infallible.
Yeah.
Which prior to that, that's kind of how you view people. When
Right.
you're a layman, you have no experience with it. You're like, well, I don't have a medical degree. And you don't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you interact with them long enough on a professional level, and you're like, well, you might be wrong, you might not be.
Yeah. When I was 18, my parents were trying to figure out why I wouldn't stop doing drugs. And they sent me to a psychiatrist, which no one should ever go to a psychiatrist.
Hyperbolic statement. Sort of.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, sort of.
Maybe. Just a smidge.
I went to a psychiatrist, Indian man. And he...
It's funny because he's an Indian psychiatrist.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
And he said, do you feel happy sometimes? And I said, yes. And he went, oh, okay. Do you feel sad sometimes? And I went, yeah. And he's like, oh, okay. I'm going to write you this prescription for this thing. And was like, here's this thing. We went home with it. My mom bought it, whatever, and looked at it. And she was like, she just looked at it. She was like, I'll just look it up, see what it is. It was an antipsychotic. Because I felt the answer on the
because you
paperwork,
experienced emotions.
Yeah, because I felt happy sometimes and sad sometimes. So I'm going to give you an antipsychotic. She looked up, or not? Yeah, it was an antipsychotic and like something that they give to people that have seizures. And my mom was like,
"Is it a benzo then?"
No,
it wouldn't be a.
I don't know what it was, but she looked it up right now. Now my mom is a medical professional. That's like now she's in the
hierarchy.
She's in the hierarchy now, so you have to admit now by your standard, you have to admit that she knows what she's talking about. And now, so she knows about all these drugs, all the drugs that are used to treat mental health issues, and she's like, they're all bad. Every single one is. No one knows what it does. And the only people who have any sort of concept of what it might do are all like, if you give someone an antipsychotic, it makes them psychotic. It makes them worse. It doesn't make them better. People that are psychotic, if you just sit with them for a second and talk for a little while, they become unpsychotic. Schizophrenia is an entirely manufactured illness. They give people schizophrenia by treating schizophrenia. And that you can look that up, right? That's just the numbers. They just, if you have somebody who's having a psychotic episode and you give them antipsychotics, it makes it worse. And now my mom's entire career is undoing that damage for people who have had antipsychotics using non-pharmaceutical interventions. And
practicing medicine.
Yeah.
That didn't work.
Yeah. Now, sorry, your life is ruined. You hear voices forever. And now you want to, every time you drive, you think somebody is in the right side of your going, into the median, into the median, into the median, into the median. You are God. Drive into the median. You won't die. Like this. For the rest of your life.
Not good.
Yeah. Yeah. So it just, this fetishizate, whatever. Liking
Fetishization. I
something
almost
like
got
that.
it. Almost got
something, dude.
Fetishization. There we go.
Fetishization. I'm just over it. And listen, everybody's over it. All right. If you're a medical professional and you think I'm a hero and I do whatever, everybody's over it. Everybody's over it. Everybody's over you. Okay. We're over it. Your time has passed. Everyone knows you're normal. Everyone has AI now. All right. Everybody sees the pictures of people peeking into their doctor's office. Their doctor's typing in the symptoms into ChatGPT and then coming in and saying whatever ChatGPT said to them. All right. We've seen those. It's over. All right. And by the way, I'm thinking now of one specific woman who I'm very fond of, who is a doctor, and I don't want to upset her. I mean, she's never going to hear this, but there are fantastic doctors out there. Like the woman
absolutely.
who delivered our child, the woman who's delivered both of our children now, phenomenal doctor, fantastic doctor. And when she goes, I don't know, we shouldn't do that. I don't go, oh, what's the thing? Have you Googled it? Whatever. I just go, okay. She said it. I trust her.
Yeah, because she's established trust.
Right. She's established that trust. And so I don't even question her.
Yeah.
She just says, oh, we're going to do this. And I go, okay. Sounds good. Whatever you want. The doctors that we go to, our pediatrician that we go to, I go to them as my doctor.
Yeah, I haven't had the need yet, but I will.
Yeah, I went in, I had like a, whatever. I went in and I said, what do you guys think I should do? And they said, do this, this, and this. We'll try this later if this doesn't work. And I went, okay. And just left. And I did exactly what they said.
Doesn't seem life-threatening. We'll try this first.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was fine. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just like,
eat some more garlic.
Yeah, there are phenomenal doctors out there. And there are tons of phenomenal doctors. There's lots of phenomenal doctors.
Yeah, so don't hear what we're not saying, which is saying that all medical professionals are idiots.
Yeah.
What we're saying is to the people who are deluded.
Right, to the people who are doing
And
it.
self-aggrandizing.
Yes.
Those are the people that we're mocking here.
Right.
Because if you're self-aggrandizing, you should be mocked.
Yeah, and there's
Bring
tons
it down a minute.
There's tons of those people, and there's tons of great doctors. All right,
And there's lots of great firefighters.
Lots
Like
of
I
great
said earlier,
firefighters.
there were super cool crews, and there are other ones you pulled up on scene. You're like, oh no, this is going to be like pulling teeth to get any sort of reasonable thing done.
Yeah,
Without having one of them try to ride along with me and boss me around.
that is insane.
Yeah.
That must be insane.
That was
man.
pretty rare, I
Okay,
should say.
that's
That wasn't like rampant. That varies a lot by system. Anyway, we have run out of time, ladies and gentlemen, or actually really just gentlemen.
Yeah.
Be real. The only ones listening this long
Yeah.
or at all really are men.
Are the bros. All right,
Hey,
guys.
what's up, guys?
Yeah.
All right.
Gentlemen.
Which is why we sign off with this.
Guys, please go to church. Find a woman. Marry her.
And have some babies, y'all.
Catechize.
Like our brother Ethan here.
Yes, catechize those children. Raise them in the way of the Lord. Please make more Christians. As one of the men, one of the older guys at church said to me when he saw my child, he said, the best type of evangelizing is biological. So get it done.
I know
dude.
who said that.
Yeah.
I've heard him say that.
I was like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
And he's done that. He's lived by that.
Oh, yes. Boy, has he. Yeah. We went to dinner. His youngest came out, and I said, oh, your granddaughter. He went, nope. And I was, wow. Guys, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.